Hurricane Ian making landfall for the third time. The cleanup efforts now underway down south and the local groups lending a helping hand. Then, a local superintendent accused of misusing public funds takes a plea deal. What the deal means for his trial, and the president declaring the pandemic is over.
We're really not beyond COVID yet. The pandemic is not over.
How local health officials are responding to his statement tonight. Plus, another week of football in the Miami Valley wrapping up. The team's getting a win as we approach the playoffs.
I'm tracking Ian and what impacts it could bring right here to the Miami Valley coming up.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live look now over Myrtle Beach in South Carolina tonight after Hurricane Ian hit the state, collapsing a pier bridge on the beach earlier today. Now that storm has been downgraded now to a post-tropical cyclone after making landfall for a third time. Thanks for joining us. I'm Adam Arrow. Megan has the night off. Cleanup efforts are now underway in Florida and South Carolina tonight as that storm travels up the East Coast. Tonight we have a better look at the damage left behind in Florida. The U.S. death toll has now risen to 17. The storm left major destruction in the state with flooding seen coast to coast on the peninsula. Boats, houses, businesses destroyed, and just under 1.5 million people remain without power. Florida's governor today vowing law and order will be maintained while the state rebuilds.
Don't even think about looting. Don't even think about taking advantage of people in this vulnerable situation because you can have people bringing boats into some of these islands and trying to ransack people's homes.
Now, the governor says crews are working hard to get that power back on, but he says the process will be lengthy in some of the hardest hit neighborhoods where sections of power grid, roads, and bridges have been destroyed. Now, DeSantis says he'll be sending in state troopers to beef up security and protect people's property where needed. President Biden, meanwhile, thanking first responders in Florida and South Carolina, devastated by Hurricane Ian.
It's going to take months, years to rebuild. And our hearts go out to all those folks whose lives have been absolutely devastated by this storm. America's heart is literally breaking.
He says he's directed that every possible action be taken to save lives. That includes deploying the largest search and rescue team in recent history to Florida, which has rescued 117 people so far. He approved an emergency declaration at the request of South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, allowing immediate federal funding for the state. The Coast Guard has also deployed aircraft, rescue boats, and helicopters. We are also getting an update tonight from Ohio Task Force 1 members who are on the ground in Florida. The search and rescue team is helping in the Sarasota region. Yesterday, they came in contact with more than 50 people. They're in the middle of finding missing persons, and the medical manager says Ian's one of the worst hurricanes he's ever seen.
Hurricane Harvey was similar to this from the standpoint of a very slow-moving Category 4 hurricane with a lot of rain and flooding.
Now, there are 83 Ohio Task Force personnel in Florida as we speak. Live look over downtown Troy tonight, a beautiful fall day in the Miami Valley, and Natalie is out on our Watson's Weather patio tonight, tracking some of the potential impacts Hurricane Ian could have here in Dayton. So, Natalie, what can we expect?
Yeah, you may have already noticed those clouds starting to build into the area. Those are from Ian, which is continuing to weaken as it travels northwestward. Right now we're in the 50s. It's a cool evening, needing a jacket or a sweater if you're out there. 53 in Dayton, 50 Urbana, 51 currently in Bellefontaine, with cloud cover continuing to build its way in. We'll overall see mostly cloudy to overcast skies as we head overnight and really into the day tomorrow. So plan on the clouds to be sticking around for us. Dropping into the 50s by early tomorrow morning, lower 50s, so not going to be as chilly as past mornings thanks to the clouds making their way in. And then the breeze kicks up, temperatures back in the 60s by lunchtime. Coming up, I'll have the rest of the weekend's forecast, talk about those impacts from Ian and what next week is looking like as well.
Natalie, thanks. Live pictures over the White House tonight, where recently the president declared on 60 Minutes that work is still being done, but the pandemic is over. Public health officials, though, they're pushing back against the president's comments. Claire Faith is live tonight after speaking with officials. But first, Claire, it sounds like White House officials are walking those comments back.
The White House is clarifying the president's statement. Now, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told MSNBC earlier this week that the virus is, quote, more manageable. Experts I spoke with disagree and advise people to exercise caution.
Really not beyond COVID, yet the pandemic is not over. For one thing, we still have in Ohio, we're having about 12,000 cases per week, and that does not count people who self-tested at home.
According to Dr. Jeffrey Weinstein, patient safety officer for Kettering Health, only medical professionals should make such statements.
The president doesn't have the authority to claim that a pandemic is over. That really falls to international and national public health agencies.
People we spoke with says there should be a focus on health with the threat of COVID-19 still remaining.
You should be eating healthy, getting your rest. For those that are more compromised, I would say that's an individual thing that the doctor, you need to work with your own doctor.
According to Ohio Department of Health, more than 40,000 confirmed cases of COVID were reported this month. A couple told us today, despite the president's declaration, there are still some concerns.
Well, I don't think it's totally a thing of the past. I think we still have COVID out there, but I think it never was really as big as we were led to believe.
Meanwhile, they say that COVID is becoming normal within society.
I think it's on its way out. Things seem to be very open now. Hopefully businesses are getting back to normal business.
There were over 1,900 confirmed cases for the Montgomery County region. Weinstein urges individuals to be cautious and get tested if you feel sick.
I think it's still a good idea for people to test themselves if they have a cough or they have a fever, or they have respiratory symptoms, because that way you can do things to prevent from spreading it to others.
Now, health experts are urging if you are at risk to get vaccinated. Reporting live in Kettering, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Clara, thanks. And new information into our newsroom tonight. At least one person hurt after a shooting at a Jefferson Township cemetery. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office officials say an argument between family members at a burial escalated when someone pulled out a gun. During the argument, that gun went off, hitting one person in the leg. That person was taken to the VA Medical Center and later to Miami Valley Hospital. The suspected shooter was later arrested by police along Dryden Road in Moraine. A live look now over I-70 tonight. Roadways have reopened after a trailer fire backed up traffic for miles. Take a look at this. It happened around 2:30 this morning in Englewood. Police say a trailer carrying vehicles detached from the truck's cab and then caught fire. Flames reaching several feet in the air, filling the highway with thick smoke. All the vehicles were destroyed by it. We are still working to learn if there were injuries out of this. Springfield police are investigating a homicide tonight. Officials found 78-year-old John Hungerford dead at this Hilltop Avenue home. The homicide investigation was launched after police determined his death to be suspicious. Now, at this time, no one is charged and no suspects have been named. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Bellbrook Sugar Creek School Superintendent Doug Kozad taking a plea deal tonight after being accused of misusing public funds. In a message from him posted to the district's website, Kozad writes that the deal allows him to, quote, maintain his innocence while at the same time moving forward, both personally and professionally. Both Kozad and former school board member Elizabeth Betts took plea deals. Kozad accepted an offered plea for one count of dereliction of duty. The other counts were dropped. According to court documents, Kozad authorized the use of public funds to pay for the printing of mailing for a newsletter that included the endorsement of a 2019 school levy. Due to the plea, Kozad avoids a trial on Monday. The Bellbrook Sugar Creek School Board members issuing a statement tonight, too. In that statement, they say in part, quote, "We thank Dr. Doug Kozad, for his professionalism during this difficult time. We know it's been a strain on all parties involved. The Board of Education has not yet decided what, if any, actions are required of it at this time. However, the board is seeking further information and guidance on this matter." Honoring the lives lost to breast cancer, the walk that was held just for them today. And a local student taking flight over tonight's football game, the message he has for others to follow their dreams.
Plus, I'm tracking Ian and what impacts we could see right here in the Miami Valley. That's coming up. Here's a live look from our Kettering Health Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton VA is celebrating its annual Stand Down for Veterans today. The event is a drive-through for homeless vets and vets in need. Although a vehicle was not needed to participate in today's event, veterans were given a backpack with some essentials including resource information, toiletries, winter and rain items, and a sleeping bag. The 19th annual Rubber Duck Regatta kicked off tonight at the Dixie Twin Drive-In. This year's regatta, a virtual duck drop, which was popularized during the pandemic. The drop is hosted by United Rehabilitation Services to benefit local kids and adults with disabilities. 9 winners were selected for some fabulous prizes.
We couldn't provide the kind of services we do, and especially with the kind of intensity that's required, without the support of this community.
After the drop, participants had the choice to watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or Hook to end the night. Next year, they plan to return to dumping the ducks in the river in person again. Mercy Health hosting its first annual Pink Honor Walk in Springfield today. People able to come out and walk to raise awareness for breast cancer. The event featured speakers, drug reps, music, and education to anyone who needs to know more about that deadly disease. Organizers say this celebration is for all those who had to fight cancer, and it's been a long time coming. October, by the way, is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Dayton 24/7 now going pink for the Women's Wellness Fund. You can join us Wednesday, October 5th, for an all-day telethon to raise awareness for breast cancer treatment and cures. And you can donate now by texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Well, clouds have started to build their way into the Miami Valley as Ian tracks its way north-northwestward. We are going to continue to see clouds as well as just gusty conditions as we head into the day tomorrow. Now, of course, the storm has weakened after it's made landfall yet again in South Carolina, but right now it still has some pretty strong winds of 50 miles per hour. Post-tropical cyclone, and will track its way northward, eventually tracking its way off to the north and the east. But cloud cover as well as some very small rain chances just off to the east of us. And I mentioned those gusty winds. They're going to be in the forecast as well. But Kettering Hill Skycam showing things on the quiet side. Right now we are sitting at 53 degrees, dew points at 40, north-northeasterly wind at 9 miles per hour. This is what we're focusing on in our forecast. Those increasing clouds, you already started to see them increase, but it does become breezy for this weekend, both Saturday and on Sunday. And then by late next week, we're going to be talking about a pretty significant cool blast of air. I'm going to be focusing on that as well. But right now we're in the 50s, 51 in Xenia, 52 Springfield, 50 in Urbana, with temperatures compared to this time yesterday warmer, and it's actually going to be warmer tonight. Not quite as chilly thanks to those clouds building in. 8 degrees cooler in Springfield, 9 degrees warmer, I should say, in Richmond, with those clouds continuing to make their way in. There's a look at Ian. Size of the system, pretty massive storm impacting with rainfall from South Carolina up into parts of Pennsylvania. Now, again, we see some showers mainly off to the east of us with this storm, but it's really just going to be cloud cover for us as well as those gusty winds. Overnight dropping into the lower 50s, upper 60s, right around 70 degrees. Now, if we get enough clearing off to our western counties, could be a little bit warmer, but we'll stay cloudy through most of the day. Heading into our Sunday, we do see temperatures in the 50s to start us off, but 60s, upper 60s by our Sunday afternoon. Now, wind gusts, they're going to be strengthening with this. So tomorrow afternoon, plan on some wind gusts, 25, maybe even up to 30 miles per hour. And we'll continue that trend as we head into our Sunday. Just a pretty breezy afternoon is expected for us. Now, the temperature trend overall, we start to see things warm up a bit, getting into the lower 70s, but in the longer term, so this is from October 6th to the 10th, below normal temperatures are looking pretty possible for us. In fact, it does look like by late next week, we're talking about a pretty significant cool blast of air, maybe our first frost of the season. But any yard work this weekend looking pretty good for us. We're going to be seeing a breezy day tomorrow. Same thing with our Sunday, but Monday is looking good. And in fact, most of next week looking good. We could use the rain though. Next Thursday is our next really best shot at showers with a cold front that drops highs back into the upper 50s on Friday.
Natalie, thanks. A Beaver Creek High School student took flight tonight at his high school's homecoming. Junior ROTC cadet Harrison Jacob flew over the field to kick off the game during the national anthem. He earned his private pilot license over the summer and plans to attend Air Force Academy once he graduates in May. Jacob says he hopes he inspired others to chase their dreams and know that anything is possible.
I would tell them, get involved, get engaged with programs in your life. The work that you put into a job, a club, a team, anything like that, whatever work you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it.
Jacob says the JROTC at Beaver Creek is committed to developing citizens who possess character and opportunity. Another week of football wrapping up. Ahead, we take you to downtown Dayton for our game of the week between Chaminade Julian and Carroll. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Hello, football fans. Welcome into the Donatos Football Friday. I'm Matt Digby alongside Adam Arrow. Week number 7 of high school football. We are already in the business end of the regular season.
Yeah, I was going to say teams are starting to separate themselves. We got the playoffs just around the corner. There were some blowouts, but also some close ones tonight.
There were, but there was also, like you say, playoffs on the minds of many teams in our area, including the 2 involved in our game of the week. 3-3 Carroll ranked 19th in Region 12 on the road at 8th ranked CJ. They were also 3-3. Eagles ball first. Jonathan Peltier option to Josiah Payne. finding enough space to run to his right for a first down. This drive would move past midfield, but on a later play, a fumble near midfield, and Carroll recovers thanks to Luke Herman, but the Patriots throw an interception on the very next play, so CJ is driving again. Payne with a carry up the middle for a touchdown. Eagles on the board first. They have a 7-0 lead. Carroll trying to answer. They're deep in their own territory, though. Noah Mengel will take a forward pitch and gain a few yards. However, the Patriots would have to punt on CJ's ensuing drive. Payne up the middle again. His second touchdown of the night. Eagles take a 14-0 lead, and I'm trying to figure out, is he excited by this?
A little bit.
I think he's a little fired up, a little
Take a
motivated to get CJ back in the win column. Later, Eagles get the ball back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Payne up the middle for his third touchdown of the first quarter alone. Champaign Julienne wins their first game in 3 weeks. Final score 45-7.
To Centerville we go, but this is a showdown between Alter and Baden. Alter's Gavin Connor is going to find his guy, Michael Russ, in the back of the end zone here. I promise you, there it is right there. Touchdown.
There we go.
Alter up early, but Baden, they would respond. Alex Ritzy going to respond with a deep ball. He's got his guy.
Wide open.
Quinn Brennan. Touchdown. Easy. Alter cheerleaders. They're going to try to get some momentum for their guys, get them going here. But it would only get Baden going. Ritzy is now going to find his other guy. That's Braden Moore. Watch this. Beautiful throw and catch.
What a play.
In stride. Touchdown. Easy. Final in this one, Baden, they roll tonight, 42-14 over Alter. All right, let's go. Players running through the banners here. The Centerville taking on Beaver Creek. This is Beaver Creek's homecoming. Amable Wakalongo is going to go for the end zone here, but the Beaver D is going to stop him here. He's going to fumble.
Great play for the Beaver defense.
Yeah, excellent. So keep the game scoreless here. Moving forward, later at the start of the second quarter, Spencer Johnson is going to get it picked by Ross Kopic, 7-0 Centerville. Beaver Creek is going to muff the snap, go over the head of Sean Morse. He scrambles, tries to make a play, but the Elk defense all over it. Great field position. The Elks, they take advantage. Gavin Montoro is going to draw his own card. 10-yard run up the middle, 14-0 Elks. Later, Montoro is going to go for a pass. Finds guy Xavier Zima. Going to come down with it. Interception. Beaver Creek.
Nice play for Beaver Creek.
They came to play tonight, taking advantage of that. Spencer Johnson's going to find Quentin Youngblood wide open. Touchdown. Suddenly, it's 14-6. Seconds left before the half. Montoro is going to throw the ball this time. Great catch. What a throw and catch. Elks, they go on to take over in the second half. 37-6, your final tonight over the Beavers.
Well, the Elks had a tough loss last week to Springboro, but they bounced back in the win column. Some more scores from the NBL. Fairmont, a close game throughout the night. 10-7 the final over Miamisburg. We will be at Miamisburg next week for Thursday Night Lights. Wayne winning comfortably against Northmont. And Springboro, they were the last unbeaten team in GWOC play, but the Panthers are unbeaten in league play no more. At Springfield, they had a tough loss themselves last week, but the Wildcats are back in the win column tonight. 56-14 the final over Springboro. We're going to take a quick break. More highlights and scores to come your way, but first, say hello to the Champaign Julienne cheerleaders.
You're watching Football Friday on Dayton 24/7 now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Welcome back to the Donatos Football Friday. Let's get right back into the action. We're going to start with Welcome Stadium. Ponitz hosting Trotwood Madison. The Rams already up 30-0 in the second quarter. Panthers facing 3rd and long. Dreon McComb rolling right, connects with Dawan Anderson for a gain. Ponitz going for it on 4th down, about 5 yards to go. A handoff to Storm White. He manages about 1 to 2 yards, but it's not 5 yards. It is a turnover on downs. Trotwood taking over with great field position, trying to add to their lead. A handoff and a run up the middle for Malachi Johnson, and that is good for a Trotwood first down as they move inside the red zone. The drive continues. Gary Buckner finding pay dirt from 7 yards out. Rams increasing their lead to 36-0, but the ensuing kickoff will be taken by Storm White as Ponitz trying to get some offense going. He would run to his left, able to evade several tacklers, and in fact drag one tackler with him for several yards.
Good effort.
So a potential positive start. Ponitz going for it on 4th down. McComb looking over the middle, connecting with Anderson for the first down conversion, but time would run out for the first half. 36-0 to score then. Trotwood Madison wins in back-to-back weeks at Welcome Stadium. Final score tonight, 48-0.
All right, Valley View Spartans going up against the Carlisle Indians tonight in Germantown, running a beautiful Friday night. So we're going to start this one early in the first quarter. After an interception, 4 plays later, Indians put it away to Valley View. Jacob Clark's going to get it, make some moves. Things looking kind of nice here. Sees a crease. He's going to take this one 62 yards. Touchdown. Spartans extra point is good. Valley View 7-0 early. Second quarter now. Spartans quarterback Bryce Brown keeping it here himself. Coming right into your living room. Extends to the pylon. Touchdown. Extra points good. 14-0.
That's
Spartans.
Good.
They're going to increase their lead on the next possession. Clark, quick toss up the middle. 10-yard touchdown. 21-0 now. Spartan fans, they brought it. They brought the Adam Sandler signs, too.
And 2, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so near the end of the first half, Spartans Brown, you're going to see Carson Burney, who's going to turn on the afterburners. 65-yard pass and completion.
The big play.
Touchdown. Man, they were all over it tonight for Valley View. Might have pulled his hamstring there. He's going so fast. Spartans go on to win this. Final score 49-13. All right, Southwest Buckeye League scores here. Brookville beating Eaton tonight 40-22. Oakwood, a squeaker over Waynesville tonight. And Bellbrook, the Golden Eagles, all over the Mohawks of Middletown Madison 42-0. Your final.
Let's go to Cedarville, a major implication playoff-wise in the OHC in Region 28. The Indians taking on unbeaten Catholic Central from Springfield. Daniel Cabarra up the middle, but the ball's knocked loose and recovered by Colt Coffey. A big play for the Indian defense. However, Catholic Central gets the ball right back. Cole Ray to Daniel Cabarra. He is able to get to about the Cedarville 35-yard line, but in the second quarter, Ray having to scramble to his left, running out of time, and he throws an incompletion. So Cedarville keeping their 7-0 lead, and then they would add to it. They were pinned deep in their own territory here in the second quarter, but Jackson Piles finding Jackson. Howdy, Shell. How do you do? Running into the end zone. Indians with a 14-0 lead at that point, and they have upset on their minds. But Catholic Central, they are number 1 in Region 28 for a reason. They are unbeaten entering Week 7 for